Hello students, let us meet at 8:30 to discuss basic mathematical tools questions, like you can say doubt clarifications. Let us meet at 8:30 guys. Duster? That's it. Right, okay. So open your notebooks and note down all the points. Find all the papers, question paper with you. We are doing the paper discussion. Right. Yes, look everyone. Let us go ahead with each and every question. Okay, quickly. Fine. So question number only mathematical physics parts. The remaining other parts I have discussed already, right? So it is the mathematical physical part. Yes. Question number 3. 3 or 2? 2. Yes, question number 2. Integral of e power 2x dx. Integral of e power 2x dx is equal to what? So you know already the formula. There is direct formula, but a small chain rule you have to apply. So it is equal to e power 2x by differentiation of this by 2 plus c, concept of integration. That's it. So which option is right? 2. So quickly, so I will not give extra time even to copy. You have to copy simultaneously and you have to go ahead quickly. So question number 4. Integral of cos x dx. Integral of cos x dx, where the limits goes from x x equal to 0 to pi by 4. X equal to 0 to pi by 4. X is equal to 0 to pi by 4. Yes. Integral of cos x plus sin or minus sin? Integration is plus sin. Plus differentiation you have to be careful. Differentiation of sin is cos, cos is minus sin. But integration sin is minus cos, cos is plus sin. So you get sin x with limits. Lower limit is 0, upper limit is pi by 4. So it is equal to what? Sin pi by 4 minus sin 0. Sin pi by 4. Sin pi by 4 is? Pi by 4 radians is 45 degrees. So sin 45 degrees how much? 1 by root 2. You can write otherwise sin pi by 4 minus sin 0. So it is equal to sin pi by 4 is 1 by root 2 minus 0 is equal to 1 by root 2. So which option is right? Fourth option. Next, question number 6. Sixth one. If y is equal to ln of x plus e power x, then dy by dx is equal to what? So you can write as d by dx of, it is equal to d by dx of y is ln, so this is L, what? ln of x plus e power x. So you have to apply some rule. So log of differentiation of log of x plus differentiation of e power x is equal to 1 by x plus e power x. Differentiation of log of x plus d by dx of e power x. So this is 1 by x plus e power x. So option again 4. 4 only, right? And next, question number 8. Question number 8.
Sir, ln is not on log.
ln is the log. The differentiation of log x is 1 by x. So log can be expressed as, you have to remember that log x or ln of x. ln x means both same, but the base regarded as common log of them, natural log and common log. So you can express like this or like this. Both means log only. Okay, you have to remember this. Next, question number 8. d by dx of sin x minus cos x is equal to what? So d by dx of sin x minus d by dx of cos x, right? So d by dx of sin x is cos x minus d by dx of cos x is minus sin x. So minus of minus sin x. So it is equal to cos x plus sin x. So option 3. Right, 3. Next, question number 10. Question number 10 is given that d by dx of x square is equal, x cube is equal to d by dx of x cube is equal to k into x square. What is k? So what is k is the question. So what is this? d by dx of x cube is 3x square by using what is that? Power rule. Differentiation of polynomial function or power rule. d by dx of x power n is n into x power n minus 1. So 3x square. So k is equal to 3. Simply directly you can write is equal to, that implies k is equal to 3. So if you want, you can write here the formula. d by dx of x power n is equal to n into x power n minus 1. Then in place of n we have 3. That's it. Right. Next. Has done this. And there is everyone. Right. It's finished. Next question number 12. Question number 12. It is given that integral of 5x power 5 4 dx. Integral of 5x power 4 dx is equal to. So it is 5 into integral of x power 4 dx. Again, power rule, integral of x power n dx is x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So you have to remember here, integral of x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c. This concept of integration will keep, otherwise, so depending on the options, of course you can, if there is a finite, definite, if it is finite integral, you don't need to keep c. Indefinite integral means you have to keep c. So here, in place of n we have 4. So x power 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1. So 5 into x power 5 by 5 plus c. So what do you get? X power 5 plus c. So which option? That's it. Next. Question option 2 is correct. Question number 14. 14th one is given that integral of x power 5 dx, where x goes from 0 to 1. Integral of x power 5 dx, where x goes from 0 to 1. 0 to 1. X is equal to 0 to x is equal to 1. So same. What is it? X power 5 plus 1 by 5 plus 1. So x power 6 by 6. The limit is 0 to 1. So upper limit minus lower limit. So you can write it as 1 power 6 by 6 minus 0 power 6 by 6. It is 0. So 1 power 6. 1 is 1 by 6. Right? 1 by 6. Next. Question number 16. Integral of theta d theta, where theta goes from pi to 2 pi. Pi to 2 pi. So this is something like integral of x dx. X dx is x power n by, so x square by 2. So same formula. In place of n we have 1. So 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1. So theta square divided by 2. The limits pi to 2 pi. So upper limit minus lower limit. So in place of theta we have to put upper limit first. So that is 2 pi whole square by 2 minus pi square by 2. Pi square by 2. So what do you get? What will you get? So 2 pi whole square is 4 pi square by 2 minus pi square by 2. So 2 is common. You can take this, keep it common. 4 pi square minus pi square. 3 pi square by 2. Is there any such option? Right, that's it. Next, question number 18. Yes, can I raise this? Go down. Yes, finished. Next, question number 18. 18 is given that charge flows are flowing through a conductor beginning at t equal to 0 is given by the formula Q is equal to 2t square minus 3t, 2t square minus 3t plus 1. Coulomb. Charge is given in Coulomb. Then bracket it is given as Coulomb. Find the current I. It is in Coulomb. Find I is equal to what? Current I is equal to dq by dt is equal to what? At t equal to t is equal to 5 seconds is the question. So here you have to remember in your lower classes you have studied about definition of current. Current is defined as rate of change of charge or rate of flow of charge to a conductor. So as we know I is equal to dq by dt. dq by dt is expressed as d by dt of q is, this is q, 2t square minus 3t plus 1. Do you understand? This is equal to what? Differentiation. First d by dt of 2t square minus d by dt of 3t plus d by dt of 1. Where 1 is constant. So d by dt of 1 is 0. Right? So this will become, directly I can write d by dt of 2t square is 2 into d by dt of t square is 2t. So 2 into 2, 4t. Directly I am writing by presuming that you remember this formula. Minus 3 into d by dt of t is 1. So you get minus 3 into 1, 3 plus 0. d by dt of 1 is 0. Right? This is current. But you are asked to find what is the current at t equal to 5 seconds. So you can write next step as I is equal I here in the subscript at t is equal to 5. At t is equal to 5 is, means in place of t substitute 5. So it is equal to 4 into t is 4 into 5 minus 3. What is that? 20 minus 3 is 17 current ampere. So this is the current value. Got it? Next. This question is, can I raise? Right. Next. Question number 20. 20th one. d by dx of x power 4 minus 2 sin x plus 3 cos x is equal to, direct question, right? d by dx of x power 4 minus d by dx of 2 into sin x plus d by dx of 3 into cos x. Given those numbers are taken out and you can differentiate. So d by dx of x power 4 is 4x cube. So m into x power n minus 1 formula I have applied. So 4x cube minus 2 into d by dx of sin x cos plus cos. So 2 cos x d by dx of cos x minus sin. So minus 3 sin x. That's it. So 4x cube minus 2 cos x minus 3 sin x. Option 4 is the right one. Right, next. 22. It is given that if y is equal to sin x and x is equal to 3t and x is equal to 3t, then find dy by dt, then dy by dt is equal to what? So what does it mean? You have to write this in this, you have to put it here, then you have to write dy by dt of dy by dt means dy by dt of y is sin x. X plus you have to keep 3t. This is the d by dt of sin 3t is equal to what? d by dt of sin t is cos t. But in place of this, you have 3t. This again you have to differentiate. So it is cos 3t into 3t differentiation is 3. So it is 3 cos, this is into this. 3 cos 3t. This will be our answer. So which option is right? Option 3. Any confusion? Next. Question number 24. Mass is. Options are scalar quantity, vector quantity, unitless quantity, dependent quantity. Mass is scalar quantity. It is not a vector, it is not unitless, it is having unit of kg. It is not dependent, it is a fundamental quantity, it does not depend on any other quantity. Right? So option 1 is the right one. So 24 is clear? Right? Mass is scalar. Next 26. 26. See here, 26th one. So two vectors are given. A point is given from here. This is given as vector A, and this is given as vector B. So the question is here vector A vector and B vector are. Options are co-initial vectors, orthogonal vectors, parallel vectors, co-terminus vectors. Co-initial, both are having common initial point. So they are called as co-initial or concurrent vectors. Co-initial vectors are also called as concurrent vectors. Right? Next, orthogonal means normal, perpendicular vectors. Perpendicular vectors also called as orthogonal. Right? Parallel, angle should be 0. Right? Co-terminus means terminal point will be having the same terminal point of both should be at same point. Next, question number 28. There is Astros. Yes. 28. So what is given here? What is the displacement vector of a particle that moves from point P with the coordinates are given 2, 3, 5 to the point A, which is having coordinates of 3, 4, 5. I think we are discussing briefly about the displacement vector. So when the coordinates are given, how to write position? Displacement is nothing but change in position vectors. Change in position vectors. So you have to here it is given that the particle moved from first point is given as P. P of 2, 3, 4. So this is first point. Its position vector is given as, let us say, R1 vector is equal to I, J, K components. You can call them as X, Y, Z components. So it is equal to 2 I cap plus 3 J cap plus 4 K cap I have to write. For initial point position vector. For final point, the particle has moved from, the body has moved from where P of 2, 3, 5 to, it should be some other point Q, they are given as some A or whatever it is, 3, 4, 5. So its position vector can be expressed as R2 vector is equal to I, J, K components. 3 I cap plus 4 J cap plus 5 K cap. This is how you have to write the initial and final position. So if a particle has moved from initial to final position, so in a plane XY plane like this. This is XY plane. So this is point P, this is point Q. So the particle initially is at this point means its position vector is R1 vector. It moved from here to here means now position vector is R2 vector. So this will be called as displacement vector, S vector, or delta R vector you can write. Is equal to R2 minus R1. So displacement vector is given as S vector or delta R is equal to final position minus initial position vectors.
Sir, that was 3, 5, sir. B.
Which one?
B.
B, yeah?
B.
2, 3, 5. Oh, yes. 2, 3, 5. Z is 5. 5. So, subtract the corresponding terms. 3i minus 2i. I cap. 4j minus 3j. Plus j cap. 5k minus 5k. 0. So, no need to keep there. Okay? So, it is I cap plus j cap is the displacement vector. I cap plus j cap. That's it. This is the displacement vector. Next. Yes. Next, question number 13. It is given that choose the false statement. Choose the false statement. Choose the false statement. The first statement is electric current is a vector because it has both magnitude and direction. Is it a vector? No, it is a false statement. Second option is time is a vector. Time is a vector which has direction always in the forward direction. Is it correct? Time is scalar, not a vector. Right, it is also false. Third option is all the quantities having magnitude and direction are vector quantities. Is it correct? No. Why? They have to satisfy vector laws of addition. Then only they can be treated as vectors. If they are having only magnitude and direction, we cannot call them as vectors. All the quantities which are having magnitude and direction and obeying vector laws of addition are called vectors. Simply having a magnitude and direction are not called vectors. If that is a vector, then current should be a vector. But current, even though possessing both magnitude and direction, it is treated as a scalar because it does not obey vector laws of addition. So this is also false. So fourth option says all the above are false. So the question is choose the false statement. All the above are false statements. Is it clear? All the above are false statements. So fourth option is correct. Next, question number 32. Here, we are asked to find if A vector, B vector and C vector are three vectors, the angle between B vector and C vector is, Here just I would like to give few examples to find angle between two vectors. Briefly, note down how to find angle between vectors first, then we can do it. Angle between any two vectors, right? Subheading, angle between two vectors. Angle between two vectors. Angle between two vectors. Usually if you have any two vectors, then say for example, we will see this as an example, then you can write even the definition form. So if you have a vector, this is vector A and this is vector B. Both are having common initial point. Then angle between them can be measured like this. This is angle between them, and they can also measure this one. This is also angle between the two vectors. Yes. So if we take this is theta. So actually this is the line means that this entire total angle will be taken as 360 degree or 2 pi radian. So this angle can be taken as 2 pi minus theta. Yes. And following this, if this is a line, this angle will be taken as 360 degree or 2 pi radian. But this is instead of 2 pi minus theta is this angle. So out of these two angles, this is the smaller angle. Is it clear? This is the smaller angle. 2 pi radians are 360 degrees. Minus this is some 30. So 360 minus 30 is 340. Yes. So 340, 330. So this angle will be 330. This will be 30. Out of these two, which is smaller? This is smaller. So usually you have to remember that angle between two vectors means the smaller of the two angle between the two vectors when they are arranged tail to, so this is tail, this is head, this is tail, this is head for this vector. When they are arranged, tail of both are placed at same point. Under that condition, if you measure the angles, provided the smaller of the two angles will be called as angle between vectors. Is that point clear? So try to write in definition form, angle between two vectors. Angle between two vectors. The smaller of the two angles, the smaller of the two angles between two vectors, the smaller of the two angles between the two vectors, when they are arranged, when they are arranged when they are arranged when they are arranged with tails at the same point, when they are arranged with the tails at the same point. So the sentence formation we can write it with the different words also. When they are arranged as co-initial vectors or concurrent vectors, or when they are arranged with the tails at same point, all means same only. Okay, so that the wording you have to be, you have to understand. So I am repeating once again. What is that? The smaller of the two angles between two vectors when they are arranged with tails of the two vectors at same point. Tails of the two vectors at same point, comma, is called angle between vectors. Is called angle between vectors. If you observe from starting of the sentence, what is that? Smaller of the angles between two vectors, right, when they are arranged in this form, is called angle between the vectors. Got it? The full form, smaller of the angle between the two vectors when they are arranged in this form is called angle between the vectors. This is not angle, this is called angle. Got it? It can be taken as a clockwise or anti-clockwise, no problem. But this will be the smaller of the two angles will be the angle between the vectors. Got it? Next, we have to write here one more point is that, write a note. Note. Angle measured in anti-clockwise direction. Angle measured in anti-clockwise direction. Angle measured in anti-clockwise direction will be positive. Will be taken as positive. Angle measured in anti-clockwise direction will be taken as positive. While that measured in clockwise direction, while that measured in clockwise direction will be taken as negative. Will be taken as negative. Okay? Right. By making use of this, how to work out this, let us see. Here it is mentioned as, let me give the diagram, question number 32. It is given as this is A vector and this is C vector and this is B vector. The arrow marks are given properly, and it is also given that this is 60 degrees, this is 60 degrees. So this is not mentioned. We are asked to find what is the angle between B and C. So angle between B and C is how much? Whenever you are asked to find angle between any two vectors, you have to keep in mind that you have to arrange the vectors. What? Tail to tail. Tail to tail form you have to arrange. Means tail of the first vector should be arranged as a common point with the tail of the second vector. So here B and C, which is B? This is B, this is C. So tail of the C vector is here, tail of the B vector is here. You have to shift any one vector, usually second vector. B vector is first vector, C vector is second vector. Try to shift the second vector without changing magnitude and direction. Magnitude is means the length of the line gives magnitude. This direction, the arrow direction gives direction of the vector. Without changing magnitude and direction, if you shift this, so that tail of this will coincide with the tail of the first vector, then we will get like this. This is C vector. Length of this will be same as length of this, right? And right, direction will be same. Then tail of this and tail of this are coinciding here. Then angle between them is, this is one angle, this is another angle, but this is the smallest of the two angles. Smaller of the two angles. This will be called as angle between the angles. First point. But here how to understand this? So here if you draw one horizontal line, so angle between this horizontal line and this is how much? This line and horizontal line 60. So this is horizontal line and this is common line, right? So this also will be by symmetry, but this also will be 60 only by symmetry. Is that point clear? Yes, everyone? Next. So here, what is this angle? So this is, if you observe this one. So angle between, what is this? Angle between this vector and horizontal. Here, if you see here, this is angle between this and this is horizontal. This is 60. If you extend this, this is 60. This is 60 means this opposite angle also will be 60 only. Opposite angles will be same, the symmetry. So this is 60, this is 60. This total angle between B and C will be how much? 120. This simplification process you have to understand by working out with a more number of examples. Okay, note down this. So angle between them should be 120 degrees. Yes? Any confusion here? Horizontal line. This. Yes. Should be
180 degrees.
This should be 180.
60 minus 180.
That way, this is 60 you can take. That way, if we take that way also can take. This is total is 180 minus 60 is 120. That way also can take. Because the 60 and 60 means in a equilateral triangle. Provided, but you don't know. Actually, this 60 means the sum of the triangle should be 180 only. So this should be 180, 60 only. That way also can take it. Right. That's good. Next, question number 34. Quickly. 34. So what is written here? If magnitude of a vector is 1, then it is called as unit vector. So options are unit vector, zero vector, scalar, none of the above. If the magnitude of a vector is 1, then it is called unit vector. Is it clear? Next question is, acceleration due to gravity is, options are polar vector, scalar, axial vector, none of this. Here we have to remember about two more types of vectors. Axial vectors, non-axial vectors are called as polar vectors. Note down axial vectors. Axial vectors. I think you have copied this, right? Axial vectors are the vectors which give rotational effect are called axial vectors. Write down. The vectors which give rotational effect are called axial vectors or non-polar vectors. We can also call them as non-polar vectors. We can also call them as non-polar vectors. The vectors which give rotational effect are called axial vectors or non-polar vectors. Example, angular displacement, angular velocity, torque, angular momentum, etc. All angular variables. Angular displacement, angular velocity, angular acceleration, angular momentum, torque, etc. are called axial vectors, are also called as non-polar. Or rotational vectors are called non-polar. Other vectors here we can say which does not depend on the axis of rotation are called polar vectors. Here if you observe, acceleration due to gravity, this does not give any rotational effect. So it is not an axial vector. And it is not a scalar. Acceleration due to gravity is acceleration is a vector. So it is not a scalar, right? It is a vector. And this kind of vectors which does not depend on axis of rotation are called polar vectors. Is it clear? Right. So we can note down this. Next, question number 38. 38. This is 36. Next 38. Question number 38. Which of the following condition is true for equal vectors? Equal vectors. Another type of vectors is equal vectors. So equal vectors. So we have discussed about parallel, anti-parallel, right? Orthogonal, co-initial, coplanar, collinear, different kind of vectors, right? So equal vectors are also a type of vectors. Both they are having, if you have any two vectors which are having same magnitude and same direction, provided if they represent same physical quantity, then they are called as equal vectors. Write down. The vectors having same magnitude and same direction. The vectors having same magnitude and same direction and represent same physical quantity are called equal vectors. Right? Next. Question number 40. Question is the angle between orthogonal vectors. Orthogonal means perpendicular. So means angle between them should be 90 degrees. 90 degrees or pi by 2 radians. Okay? Right, next. Question number 42. Question number 42. The question is, choose the correct statement. The first option says, all parallel vectors are equal vectors. Second option, all equal vectors are parallel vectors. Third option, all anti-parallel vectors are negative vectors. Fourth option, all parallel vectors are negative vectors. Yes, how can you choose this? First option says, all parallel vectors are equal. Parallel vectors means, irrespective of their magnitude, if they are having the same direction, they are called parallel vectors. So these are equal vectors. Equal vectors means they have two vectors should have same magnitude and same direction. Direction okay, magnitude also should be same. For equal vectors, magnitude and direction both should be same. So they are parallel, but they are not equal. All equal parallel vectors are equal. No. All equal vectors are parallel. Equal vectors means vectors having same direction, same magnitude, or and represent same physical quantity. Say for example, this is F1 vector, this is F2 vector. Got it? So if they are having same magnitude and same direction and represent same physical quantity, then they can be called parallel vectors. Equal and parallel, but these are parallel but not equal. Is it clear? Yes. So second option, all equal vectors are parallel. Yes. Third option, you can cross check. All anti-parallel vectors are negative. Anti-parallel means these. Let's say you can say vector A, vector B are anti-parallel. This you can say this may be in negative direction, but this is all anti-parallel vectors are not negative. So this may be acting in this direction. Negative vector means, so this is in negative direction, but negative vector means a vector whose direction is reversed can be called as negative vector of the given vector. But this cannot be negative vector of this one way. And all negative vector, all anti-parallel vectors are not negative vectors. Right?
Sir, negative vector.
Negative vector means, say for example, this is A vector. If you reverse the direction without changing the magnitude, like this, so then you can write minus A vector. Minus A vector is called negative vector of A vector. Got it? Yes. So here anti-parallel vectors. One can be negative in negative direction, another can be in positive direction. So they cannot be in, both cannot be negative vectors. Both cannot be acting in negative direction. If they are negative direction, they are parallel vectors. So next, all parallel vectors are negative. So here, these are parallel, they will be positive. Here, these are parallel, they may be negative, but not always. Parallel vectors may be lying in positive x direction, positive y direction, or negative x direction or negative y direction. Sometimes they may be negative, sometimes may not be negative. So all parallel vectors may not be, need not be negative. Got it? All anti-parallel vectors need not be negative, all parallel vectors need not be negative. So all those options are wrong. So the second option is right. Is it clear? Next. Question number 44. velocity of light is. Here, this term is a confusing term. Just to, the word will confuse you. Velocity. So velocity, but here the next word is of light. Here velocity of light is universal constant. Velocity of light in free space, actually speaking, velocity of light in vacuum is constant everywhere. Right? So it is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. It is a constant. So you can call this as a scalar. It is not a vector. Even the word velocity is there. Usually velocity and speed can be distinguished. Speed is magnitude of velocity. So velocity is a vector, speed is a scalar. But here, when you say velocity of light, speed of light, both means same. But sometimes you will use the word velocity of light. Doesn't mean that it will behave like a vector. It is a constant. It is a constant. Is it clear? So a constant means you can take it as, it will have magnitude but no direction. So you can take this as a scalar quantity. Is it clear, everyone? Yes? That's it. So these are the questions you have to go through in first track part. I hope all are clear. So out of the other explained questions, still you have any confusion? Do you have any confusion? So that I can explain with some other examples, especially angle between vectors, how to find is clear. Yes, go through them. And this week we will be having vectors part. So try to read the theory.